Hey, how's everyone doing? I hope you're all having a great day or a great night, wherever you are. Now, I want to show you guys some setups that I have currently going on, some trades that I'm looking to take. We're looking at XAU USD. This is gold and US dollar. As you can see, I know it looks kind of complicated, it looks maybe kind of messy. So there's combination here. You have support resistance over here, support resistance levels. We have some trend lines going on, different colors. We also have some EMAs, so you see these lines over here, the blue one, the red one. We also have a yellow one. Now, I know there's a lot of stuff going on here. We also have 3 different charts, right? By the way, they're all gold. So this is gold, this is gold, this is gold. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what it is that I'm using. Down here we have the special indicator. That basically what it does is it shows us the true intentions of the bank or the institutions that are putting large sums of money into the market. So sometimes it can deviate you. Like for example here, we can see that the market's moving upwards here, but in reality there's not actually higher closes going on, right? So in basic terms, it looks like the banks are kind of pumping money into the system to keep this going up, when in reality this is flatlining, right? And that's why in the end it actually started turning around. So these are like some tools, some tricks that you can use in order to see what's going on with the market when it's losing power, and all these indications can give you obviously higher percentages of winning in the market. So here we have the gold, we have the 15-minute. This is a Renko chart. This is the 5-minute. Here we have a normal candlestick chart on the 4-hour. For my entries, I like to use the 15-minute. So this is all stuff that I'm going to show you guys. Obviously, what you just did was the basics, right? First thing we want to do is make sure you have the basics down. But I do offer the mastery course, which is actually, if you happen to catch this in summer of 2018, every summer what I'm doing is I'm opening it up for 2 or 3 months, depends. I'm opening it up for free enrollment, but what I do is, in order to make sure that the people that I'm helping out, to make sure that they're actually people who want to learn and they're not people who are going to waste my time, because I value your time, but I also value mine. I want to make sure that if I'm helping out people, I'm helping out people who actually want to be helped. So one of the requirements for you guys to, I'm going to tell you guys later, which is to submit your homework and everything, just so that you can show me that you actually took the time to go through everything, that all the videos, and you took the time to actually learn the content. If you can show me that, I'll be more than happy to give you guys the course, the whole entire course for free. Limited to the first 1,000 people in the 2 or 3 months of summer. So here we have also another trade we're looking at is GBP JPY, the Great British Pound, the Japanese Yen. Here we also have the 5-minute. So here we're looking for some upwards momentum. We can already see this coming back up. So I'm going to teach you guys all this stuff if you're new to this. And we can also see that over here there's some trend lines. It's been respecting it, right? We also have some crossover trend lines over here, right? There's also quadrants, right? So you have this quadrant, 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 right? There's 4 quadrants. And depending on which quadrant the trade tends to stay in, that kind of tells you, gives you a clue of where to take the trade, right? If it's going to go up, right? If it would have came this way and it would have stayed in this quadrant, I know the trade is most likely going to come down, right? But it's been staying in these upper quadrants. So that's something else I'm going to teach you guys. Now here we have AUD USD, Australian dollar and US dollar. So this is actually a trade that I took this morning, which I entered right here in this point, right? I saw there were a lot of wicks to the downside. Here it was starting to gain power once more. Also saw it here on the Renko, some extra confirmation over here once it crossed over. We see these wicks to the downside. We also see double bottom, right, or a W, and I entered right here, took this up for, I'm actually floating right now. Let me look at my trade. Yeah, So I'm up 70 pips, yeah, which is where it was up to here. So there, it was up to 70 pips. Right now it's coming back down to test. There's this big triangle. Sorry, I'm just geeking out on you guys. There's this big triangle that I broke out of. This was a fake breakout. I'm going to teach you guys that too, right? So sometimes there are manipulations in Forex, and they can do some sort of fake breakouts to make you think that this was going to be a sell. So probably some people sold here, and then it took everyone by surprise that sold here, right? So some people wait for the, once it breaks out, they sell, or they wait for it to come back, test, and then they sell it. But it can surprise some people because probably they didn't see this happening, right? So this is all stuff I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you market manipulations. I'm going to show you patterns. I'm going to show you how to use all these indicators. And one by one, you know, I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed. One by one, you know, there's homework and everything. A lot more homework than there was with the support and resistance, with the basics. You know, that was just to give you guys a little taste of what the actual course is like. Because I do want you guys to see the value in the course. See that this is actually going to help you guys learn, you know. So this is a basic overview of kind of like what my trade setups look like. So I'm actually writing it down for you guys over here, what it is that I use. So if you have some sort of notepad or something with you, maybe you want to take notes, although I'm going to go over this later. So one thing that I use that's extremely important is Renko, right? I use a 15-minute and the 5-minute, and then I use the candlestick, and I use that on the 15-minute. This is all for entries, right? So obviously I use different time frame to actually look at the charts and see the bigger picture, what's going on. First I mark it up, you know, mark my support and resistance. Support and resistance, I also mark it up with Renko because, as you guys saw on the first lesson, that it makes it a lot more clear, right? This all looks very choppy and everything, but here you can see more clear levels, right? You can clearly see where there's levels going on here of support and resistance, right? So that's why I love Renko. They're time independent charts, all right? So it doesn't care about time. It just distributes each block of a certain amount of pips. So each one of these blocks is a specific amount of pips. And that's going to be also covered in the course, so don't worry about that. Now, so another thing I use is, as you can see here, I use all these different EMAs, right? Exponential moving averages, which are these squiggly lines. So I'm going to show you guys how to use that as well. They act as kind of moving support and resistance, and they also give you a take profit target. And they kind of tell you, they also show you which way the trend is kind of overall going, right? So we have this big red line which shows you the strength of the overall big trend, and this is a more medium trend, and this is a more active trend, right? So these EMAs, so there's 3 values to them. They're each 3 different values, which will give you all the 3 different colored EMAs. Another thing, you have to use a 3 charting system, a 3-way charting system. Sometimes I've seen some people use 4. So the important thing about this is that when you have all the charts lined up, right, as you can see when I move my arrow here, I can also see it over here, right? It's extremely important. This is one of the biggest tricks of a successful trader, because you're able to see, sometimes when you see a small time frame, or even if you're changing, like here you can go and change it, right? I can change the time frame, but it's kind of hard if you're not able to correlate with the bigger time frames of what's going on. It's going to give you a much clearer picture. You're less likely to take bad trades. You're going to have a higher percentage chance of you know, seeing what's actually going on in the short term and the long term, which is going to help you to know when to stay in, how long to, you know, to take this trade. and overall it's going to lead to your success. So it's extremely important. This and Recco, extremely important for having successful trades. Alright, so this is going to be for different time frames. Another thing is that you can also, what you can do is, sometimes I use it for fractional disparity, which that's also covered in the course. Fractional disparity basically means that there are some pairs that are related, right? For example, if we have, let's say Euro GBP and GBP JPY, sometimes when you see movements in this pair, you'll see kind of similar movements in this pair, right? So when you're able to correlate it, that's a stronger signal. If they both show a buy, for example, or they both show a sell, that's much stronger signal of what's going on, that you're actually correct. Alright, so this you can also do with these charting systems, right? You can put two different pairs side by side, and as you're taking trades, you can see what's going on in the other pair to see if they're correlating. Alright, the other thing that we use is this special indicator on the bottom over here. And this indicator, I will actually provide you guys with it. Sorry, where's my notes? So, special indicators. So it's a mixture of, I believe it's 6 different indicators that all come together to show you another clear picture. And this, I'll give you guys the template as well. So this will all be with the free course. If you guys are able to make it to the summer intake of the course, of the enrollment process. And the other thing that I use is, I think that's actually basically it. And obviously, you know, support and resistance, obviously. So support, resistance, trend lines. Support / resistance plus trend lines. Right, this is obviously a must. This is what you guys learned in the first lesson. This is gonna be, you know, we're gonna go over this, you know, in the main course a little more in depth. There's gonna be more homework for you guys to follow. Now, here's the funny part. For you to get this, for you to get the Renko, for you to be able to use Renko, or for you to be able to use multiple EMAs, more than 2, and to be able to use a 3 charting system, actually even just 2 charting systems, just having a split screen, it's not in the free version of TradingView. So if you look at TradingView, right? In the free version, unfortunately, you can't get that. Now, what's funny about that is that why would they limit you? They actually allow you to have everything else, right? They allow you to have bars, candles, hollow candles, not Heikin-Ashi. We're actually going to go over this. I use this sometimes. They allow you to use line, area, baseline, and some of these other ones too. But they limit you to Renko, and they limit you to Heikin-Ashi. Now, isn't that kind of weird, right? So I've seen actually that, well, when I learned to use Renko, it was from one of the people that taught me how to trade well, right? I've had a lot of people kind of teach me how to trade, but when I actually started having more success was when I started using Renko, right? So this is included in the paid version of TradingView. Now also, the EMAs, you can't use more than 3, and the 3 charting system, which is extremely important for covering your trades, is also not included. Now that's kind of interesting that, you know, they would put it there, as knowing that majority of people, you know, they're going to be like, you get a ton of stuff, you know, like with TradingView when it's free, but you wouldn't know this. I never even heard of Renko. I had no idea what Renko was. I didn't even know people use half split screens of charting or 3-way charting. I didn't even know you needed, like, these indicators were actually that useful, right? So if you go to the website, it's actually not expensive. I think the cheapest you can get, I think it's like I think it's like $10 per month, you know. So obviously, if you're not willing to put $10 per month of investment into your charting for trading, you know, then most likely you're not going to be a successful trader, because that's extremely cheap for what you're getting. Now, I want to make sure that people are serious about this. One thing I am going to ask people, that if you want to be one of the 1,000 people that enroll in the free summer course, I do want to make sure that, one, these requirements are going to be on the bottom. Again, I want to make sure that the people who are enrolling this course, that they're serious about this. One, you have to submit the homework, which were the 2 homeworks on support and resistance plus the trend lines. Alright, there's going to be links to that. There's going to be a button that you're going to click so you can submit your homework. The other thing, you have to have at least the basic trading view. Alright, so there's going to be a button for that below too. And make sure that you use the button, because that's going to tell me, it tells me exactly who it is that clicked the button when you're enrolled in the course. So I know exactly who it is that is actually getting it, so I can email you the templates. Alright, you're going to get the templates and you're going to get access to the course, assuming you also submitted this, right? So this is a must for everyone. I don't care if you submitted the homework. If you don't have TradingView, you know, you're not going to be able to follow along, because everything that's taught in the course is using all this stuff, and you won't have access to it. And I want to know exactly who it is that signed up, so make sure you use that. Same thing. If you get TradingView, but you haven't submitted the homework, you're showing me, yeah, you're willing to buy a tool that's going to be very useful, but you're not willing to put in the work. So again, I won't let you in the course either. Alright? So the course does tend to fill up fast, so please make sure that you're submitting both. Alright? And the last thing, I want to make sure that you guys are able to introduce yourself into the course. Introduce yourself into we're going to have a Facebook group. Make sure you introduce yourself. Make sure you post your comments. Make sure you post a little, detail about you, and make sure you're active in there. There's people who maybe have the same questions as you. It's a community. We're all there to support each other, and this is all free. So the least you can do is contribute to the community. All right. So contribute. All right. And one thing I would like to ask in return is, please, there's some YouTube videos that we use with this group. Maybe there's some sort of Facebook page. I would really appreciate it if you guys could, subscribe to the YouTube channel or be able to comment on the YouTube channel. It really helps us out to grow with this Forex Mastery course, right? So we're providing this for free for you guys. Please take the time, to do that. I would really appreciate that, and the team would as well. So this is the basic requirements. This is what we're going to be using. This is what I'm going to be teaching. You're going to get the homework. You're going to have the groups. You're going to have the support. And soon enough, we'll have you to this level where you'll be able to trade with us at this point in time. Oh my God, this is looking good. All right. I'm actually looking to take. Let's take a quick look. If you guys want to stay and watch a little bit, I'm gonna be showing you what I'm doing. So here, what I'm looking for basically is, later I'm gonna show you guys how to use triangles. So here we're looking at this. Right. So we have this big triangle. Now when this triangle breaks out, see how I have this line? Let me show you guys something really cool. You guys are going to be excited about this. So if we zoom out, this triangle, you see this triangle, how it starts here? Goes up, 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 these lines connect, all those trend lines. So if you actually draw a line straight from the top of this to the bottom here, and you take this length and you put it out here to the very tip of the triangle. Now this doesn't happen all the time, but majority of the times it does happen. I'd say maybe like 90%. This will actually tell you, let me zoom out. This will actually tell you to where this is going to rise to. So this looks like it did not want to go down, right? Specifically because this was pure market manipulation, right? You guys are going to learn that in the course, how to detect when there's some manipulation going on. So this wasn't even supposed to happen. This was just supposed to go straight up. So later, hopefully, we're going to see that this is going to make a strong move upwards. I already entered here just in case. The reason I did that was because it was already testing here. So I entered right here. Once it broke through, came down tested, entered here. I have my stop loss somewhere down here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this up about, let's see how much. It's, I believe it's like 100 something pips. Man, I'm excited for this trade. Let's see. Let's take our measuring tool from the tip here. Well, it's not from the tip here because I entered here. So I entered here. So up here, that's about 120 pips. So 120 pips at $1 each, going to be $122. At $10 each, which is what I trade, is $1,200. So very excited for this trade to play out. What I'm risking is 30 pips. So 30 pips for 120 pips. That's a great ratio. That's a 1-to-4 ratio, right? So I'm pretty stoked about this. Pretty stoked about this trade. We can see already that this is forming up here. So sometimes it's kind of easy to detect up here. You can see that there's a double top going on. So there is some down movement that's going to happen, right? It is going to come down. But I'm seeing that it's probably going to come down to this area over here and then keep going up. Do one more move upwards, which is going to be this big strong move up. So yeah, I'm going to list all the requirements again, like I said. Make sure you get in early for this course. You know, the spots do go pretty quick. It's only 1,000 spots. You know, there's tons of people watching this. You know, they come through YouTube just like you, or maybe the Facebook channel. Maybe they saw me on Instagram Live. So make sure you get all this stuff in. Make sure you go through the course. Make sure you submit the homework. Get TradingView. Introduce yourself in the Facebook group. Would appreciate the contribution. Obviously, I could monitor that, but obviously I'm not going to. But I would really appreciate that, you know, in exchange for having you guys give you all this value, right? So all the requirements are going to be on the bottom, and looking forward to meeting all you guys. Take care.